What's going on, people? Welcome to the LV Live Show. I'm LV Live. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Once again, I want to thank all the new subscribers for coming by to my channel, man. It is truly, truly appreciated. Great win, great win, great win, right? The Knicks beat the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight 109 to, what was it, 91? 109, 91, I believe. Make sure I got the score right. 109-91, yes. Great win tonight, man. Great win tonight. But, they were down some players. But, hey, listen, man, it doesn't matter, right? However we can get it, we can get it. Right? So I'm not even upset by that. Donovan Mitchell's going to get his. But I think what tonight showed was, believe it or not, how I think we pretty much we got this team's number. Not and I say, of course, um, Garland didn't play tonight, and of course Jared Allen. But I just think that just matchup wise, it's a tough matchup for them. It really is. I just think that what the Knicks provide, size wise, offensively, rebounds, it's just a really tough matchup for them. They're two elite players. Garland and of course Spider are undersized, right? When you beat us is when you have a bunch of wings, right? When there's a bunch of wings out there, like what the Pelicans gave us problems with the other night, and of course the Raptors have always been a thorn in our right side, right? Length and athleticism is what causes us a lot of problems, like big problems. Like that's why those teams we struggle with teams like that. But with these guys, we don't really have that big of an issue. Mitch is just a monster in that middle, man. I mean, he takes up so much space, block shots, and just rebounding. He's tough to deal with. And the beauty of today was that we saw the reemergence, or Randall finally showed up to the party, right? And as he started to dominate in that post, it's just a matchup problem. They have nobody for Randall. Mobley's a really, really good player. A young guy, very talented. But I just think he just doesn't match up well with Randall. I mean, that's just what it is sometimes in this league, right? You just matchup wise, you have certain guys that just don't match up well with other guys. They just don't. Randall's a bad matchup for Mobley. He just is. And when Randall gets into his bully ball, right? He's hard to check, and then once he steps out and starts knocking down that three, then he's impossible to guard, right? Then he's getting to the free throw line, and then you have to deal with him, and then you have to deal with Brunson. And now, with the emergence of RJ, who had another great night tonight, he had 16 points. Shot 5 for 13, but he was 3 for 5 from 3. 3 for 4 from the free throw line, right? So a couple of times I thought he was driving to the basket. I think he got fouled a couple of times, but they didn't blow the whistle. But shows his aggressiveness. He had 16, right? So now you add that into what it is that the Knicks like to do. They heavy isolation and just matchups all over the place. They have a really hard time dealing with the Knicks. They just do. And then of course with the 9-man rotation, you have iHeart coming in who had a big night tonight. I think iHeart had he had 13 points. I believe he had 8 boards. I'll check the stat line back in a second, but yeah. So then, of course, IQ coming off hitting a couple of threes, and Josh Hart. And we come at you in waves, man, and also too a big part of what it is that we do. We're pretty set on our rotation, like who's who, right? Guys know their roles, like, and that's the biggest part of really building a winner, right? Is guys knowing their roles, guys understanding what their responsibilities are with the team. Not taking bad shots, And once you start doing that, then now you're starting to build camaraderie. Now you're starting to build cohesiveness, right? And I think that's what the Knicks are building, right? So it's just great, man. It's just really, really good. I love what I see. I truly do. Now, also, too, it's a great rebound from Saturday, right? With the Pelicans, right? Of course, the Knicks just didn't have any legs. So this is a great rebound game. Now, once again, Cavs didn't have everybody, but to me, the NBA doesn't matter, right? They're all still NBA guys out there. Spider was out there. Isaac Okoro was out there. Matt Strus, who killed us last year with Miami, he was out there. Evan Mobley, right? So these are still all NBA guys, right? So you can't take them lightly, which the Knicks didn't. And the Knicks pretty much controlled this game from beginning to end. They just did. And that's what you got to do with teams like this. You have to. You got to dominate them. When they're shorthanded, you do exactly what the Knicks did. And I think that's just great to see. I truly, truly do. So, yeah. But listen, when you guys come in here, let me know. Let me know you're in here. Give you guys a shout out, right? But great win, man. Great win tonight. Great win. Also, too, what I liked is I like the fact that they didn't stop going to Randall, right? He started off a little shaky. I think he's on the perimeter a little bit too much. But once they started going to him and he started cooking, once he realized, okay, who's the guy? Wise, I think that's his name, Wise, and put Mobley on him a couple of times and someone else, and he's a lot to deal with down there in that Baja, man. He's a lot to deal with. And once he realized, I don't know what it is, that no one could check me, once I put my back to the basket, game over. And that changed the whole dynamic of the game. And, that's how, kind of, believe it or not, how the series went last year. Before Randall went down with another ankle injury. He's the catalyst, right? Because there's not too many guys out there that can match up with him. Of course, you have, guys like LeBron and stuff like that, but that's one in many, right? Most guys can't match up with Randall. When he gets down there, he starts, backing you down, posting you up. He's a big, strong power forward, old school power forward, 6'10", about 250, looks like, strong. And he gets in there and he starts playing bully ball. He's a lot to deal with. He's a load. And so I think that they don't really have that, right? So he spearheads it, right? And then Brunson's just doing Brunson, right? He looked like himself. Isaac Okoro can't check him, man. He can't. But the problem is that you can't put Spider on him because Spider's going to draw fouls. He's going to draw 5 fouls on Spider. Remember, he gave Spider the business when he was back in Dallas, just like he did last year. So, they really have nobody over there for Brunson. Spider's going to get his. There's not too many guys out there that can check Spider, right? Everyone knows that. But the reality is that when you watch this game, you say to yourself, okay, because I found myself saying to myself, okay, how are they going to look when they have Garland, Allen, and who else was missing? I think that was the only two that were missing. Someone else, I believe. Like, how are they going to look, right? I didn't feel like those guys coming in would make a difference. I mean, they would. I mean, they Garland's a great player. Jared is solid in the middle, but I think that the balance on the Knicks is great. I think Cleveland's still trying to figure out their rotation, and Knicks know their rotation. That's the beauty of bringing everybody back and pretty much keeping the same thing going, right? They're not unsure of who plays what or who plays where. Like they already know what to do. The only, of course, change is Obi, right? But you have DiVincenzo there, so that kind of adds into that piece. Like I've said on my show before, We definitely need like a stretch four, like a 3D wing, a long athletic guy who can come in and spell Randall, right? We should probably reach out to the Pelicans, man. They got a whole bunch of those guys out there. They got a whole bunch of those guys. They just stockpiling those wings, with length and athleticism. They're just stockpiling those guys. But I think that with the Knicks, that's what we're missing. Having that, right? But for now, I love offensively what we are. I mean, having a guy like IQ coming off the bench, I mean, I really, really hope. I just doubt it, but I really hope the Knicks are able to bring him back. When he does offensively for us, it's just so hard to find in this league. It really, really is. And, him coming off the bench, knocking down those threes, it just pushed the lead back to 20. When they kind of started coming on, making a little run, made a little push in that fourth. And IQ just knocking down back to back. I mean, offensively, he's just so gifted, man. So gifted. And he's just tough to guard. So once again, it comes in waves, right? It comes in waves. So you have him coming off the bench, iHeart's productivity. One thing about iHeart, which I think is great, and why I think he's a perfect fit for this team, is that he understands, like I'm not here trying to be the star. I'm not here trying to take Mitch's minutes. I'm here to play backup. And I'm here to be somewhat similar, not exactly, but somewhat similar to the same presence that Mitch is in the middle. And that's what iHeart provides. So if he can really add on some offense as well, like he did tonight, that's an added plus to what that bench unit can be. Right? iHeart doing that and being able to contribute. I don't see exactly where we kind of lose ground there, right? Mitch's size, of course, Mitch is much bigger than iHeart. I think iHeart's 6'10", 6'11". Mitch is legit 7'1" guy, right? So, but iHeart brings his own flair, shall I say, to the game, right? But with the flair, there's an edge to him, right, which I love. He gets down there, he gets in it. He doesn't back down from anybody. Yeah, he's New York City, man. And I think for me, that's something that I think was big for us in the playoffs also. Right? Because that second unit is, like I said, is so key to what the Knicks like to do. When that second unit comes in, it's as if at times we don't skip a beat if the offense, if the first unit is rolling. But sometimes if the first unit is struggling, the second unit is the one that really picks it up. And then, of course, that's spearheaded by IQ, right? So with him being able to do what he does, and then with, of course, you have Josh Hart, right? I just think it's great, man. I just think it's fabulous. I think it's just a great win that we had today. I really do. I think that us being able to really grow as a team, right? Especially what happened Saturday, and getting a win like this is very important, right? Especially for the season, because now, a lot, like I said, a lot of guys have to get their sea legs back, right? Their legs. I think Randall's starting to come around, but a lot of guys kind of had to wake up. They didn't, they probably, have to get into season mode. I think Brunson is starting to come around. RJ's had it since day one, since they pretty much said, okay, this is the start of the season tonight. So I think so. I think that that's awesome. But I think that we haven't even reached, of course, what we can be. A lot of people say we can be a fifth, sixth seed. I think with our potential, I feel honestly that we're the third best team in the East, especially with Harden going out west. I think we're the third best team in the East. I think we're better than Philadelphia, and I think we're better than Miami. I really, truly do. Now, can that, will that manifest? I guess I'm not sure. Depends on these guys. But if we're locked in and we play how I know we can play, I think we're the third best team in the East, and I think we can shock a lot of people, right? I think Boston's a great matchup for us. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, I don't think Boston is, Boston's out of your league." I don't think so. I really, really don't. The key to all of this, and the key to how good this team can be, honestly, is Randall. Yeah, I said it. It's Randall. Randall's the key. Brunson's pretty consistent from what I've seen. RJ is slowly starting to come around. I think he's starting to get it, right? I think he's starting to understand the speed of this league, how this league is. I don't know. I just think RJ's starting to come around. But the key to me is Randall. And the reason why I'm saying that is because he's going to have so many mismatch and matchup nightmares this season because the other team's not going to have anybody, excuse me, it's not going to have anybody on their team that's going to really truly be able to match up with Randall. I mean, you're going to have teams like, the Pelicans, of course, they have Zion, right? You're going to have teams like Denver, right, that have, what's the kid's name? His name is slipping my mind now. The athletic big that was from Orlando. Gordon, right? So you're going to have Gordon out there. He's a good matchup for Randall. Of course, LeBron in Phoenix, right? Good matchup for Randall. I might be missing somebody else, but to me, outside of that, who's going to give Randall problems? Who? I'm talking about across the board, size, strength. Who's going to be able to really stand up and hold up against Randall? Him and Sabonis always go back at it, but Sabonis is going to be guarding Mitch. Oh, sorry, Greek Freak, right? Greek Freak, right? Greek Freak out there. So, yeah. So I just think that that's where to me, he's a matchup nightmare. He really is. I just think he is. You know what I mean? I just think that when you just look at what the Knicks can do across the board, right? You look at what they can be, and how can I say? Trying to find the right words here. When you know what Brunson brings to the table, you know what RJ brings to the table, IQ, right? You know these guys. These guys are pretty consistent in regards to what skill set they have. But there's pretty much a lot of guys that can match up well with them, right? But if you look around the league, there's not too many people that can match up with Randall, man. And so that's why I say he's the key. Like, he really, really is. When he wakes up and he says, okay, you know what, I'm going to dominate today, there's not too many guys that can really stop him, just because of his size and force and all those things. And so I think that when he just figures it out or locks into, all right, this is what I'm gonna do today. This is how I'm gonna dominate. It's a different ball game, and you saw once he started being Randall today, they had no answer. They had no answer, and in watching the Celtics series when we played the Celtics the other night, they had nobody for him. Nobody for him with Drew Holiday. NBIC, what's going on, man? Peace, man. Peace. Great win tonight, sir. Great win tonight. Much needed win after Saturday. So I just think that, that's to me is the biggest key, right? Just Randall being able to dominate his one-on-one matchups. NBIC, what did you think about the game tonight, sir? Definitely looking forward to hearing. Hit that like button, guys. Absolutely appreciate that, NBIC. And who else is in here, man? Let me know that you guys are here so I can give you guys a shout out, please. But I thought all in all, in watching the game, I just like what I see, man. I like the rotations. I really, really do. And I think also too, what I love also is that nobody out there is playing outside of their game, man. I don't see anybody out there trying to do too much. Great win. RJ quickly did work. Absolutely. Hey, NBIC, man, do you see how RJ's coming around? Do you see how much of a better player he looks? He looks like the game has started to slow down for him now. He looks like he's really starting to really understand the speed of the game. Like, he doesn't seem rushed. He knows the spots that he wants to go to score. His three ball looks good. 3 for 5 again from three. He's not, taking any crazy shots. He's taking high percentage shots, man. Now, tonight wasn't as great nice shooting. I think it was 5 for 13. But NBIC, just if you kind of take a look at it, to me, he just looks like a player who's developed. Like, he knows who he is, and he knows what he could do, right? And now it's not a matter of him being unsure. Now he's just doing it. Yes, I always said that that he is a franchise piece. No, absolutely. I have a feeling that the Knicks are going to make a push for Embiid after this big time deal with Harden. I think the Knicks are going to call and kind of, give a suggestion of what they want to give the Cavs. The Cavs. Think about the game. Give the 76ers. I just hope that it's not like RJ. I really don't. I would send them Randall and, of course, Mitch. I would do that. And Fourier's contract. I'll probably even throw an IQ. Just saying, man. Just saying. That's dead. You don't think that's going to happen? I think that's going to happen. I think the Knicks are going to really push for it. I really, really, truly do. I really do. Okay, let me transition here. He wants to stay. I'm hearing he's saying that. I mean, he's saying that he wants to stay, but I don't know, man. If the option is if it looks good enough, I could see him agreeing to the deal to come to the Knicks. But I know the Knicks are gonna make a push for him. I know they are. Okay, cool. Let's take a look here at the stats here. Hey, man, iHeart came to play tonight, didn't he? He's coming along really, really well, man. I love what he does. In 23 minutes, man, 5 for 10. Look at those numbers there, man, for iHeart. Let's go down and take a look a little bit. Go down a little bit lower there. It's a little kind of covered up. Move this here for a bit. Sorry about that, guys. iHeart's numbers, man. He's a plus 12 also. 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 7 boards. 13 points, man, for iHeart, man. Look at that. 1 block, 2 steals. I mean, his line was better than Mitch. He's a really good player. Who are you talking about, iHeart? NBIC, you talking about iHeart? Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, iHeart's good, man. iHeart's really good. He's solid, man. He's solid. You know, he's such a under the radar piece, man. Like, you know, when he came over here from the Clippers, I wasn't sure exactly what he was going to be like, right? But he's kind of I mean, a lot of people complaining when he first came, but he's kind of like he's kind of like earned my respect, man. He really has, especially last year he played. I mean, he was amazing last year, I thought. If I'm the Knicks, I try to keep him around. Yeah, I love his game too, man. I love his game. If I'm the Knicks, I definitely try to keep him around. I try to give him a nice little contract, man. I think he's a solid piece. I think, pieces like him you need, if you're really trying to win in this league, right? A piece like that. I think that a lot of times he kind of gets overlooked, and he's still a very young player. I think he's like 20, 25 or 26. I got to just look it up, but he's still a young player. He's still on tap, which is really scary. Absolutely. I think that I said this earlier. I think most importantly is that he knows who he is. Like, he's not trying to do too much. He's not trying to be, he understands that I'm here to back up Mitch. Like, I'm not here. He played 23 minutes. Mitch played 22. So they played the even amount of time. Like, he understands that I'm not here trying to, right? I'm here to back up Mitch. But when I get out here, I'm going to try to dominate like Mitch, right? And that's the type of player I love, because he's not going in there being unsure of himself. He plays hard every night. Like, there's not one night I see iHeart take the night off. And I think he played every game last year. He's getting his nose in there. He's getting hit in the face. He's getting elbowed. He's fighting. You know what I mean? Gideon, what's going on, man? How you doing? Appreciate you coming by. Good win. Great bounce back. Absolutely, man. It's funny, Gideon, because when I heard that these guys were down tonight, when I heard that of course Allen was down, and what's the point guard's name again? Gardner, what's his name? Forget his name. When I heard that a lot of their top guns were out, before Spider was playing, a couple of those other guys were out. I wanted to see how the Knicks responded. I wanted to see if they would take full advantage of this, right, and punish this team, right? If your best players aren't playing, we're going to do exactly what we're supposed to do with you, and they did. And that's, to me, is a good sign of a good team. Like, we're starting to really become and solidify. Like, listen, man, we are a legit team in this league. Like, we're not a joke. Last year wasn't a joke, and this is what really good teams do to teams that are, unmanned or whatever, undermanned. Excuse me, right? And look at the quarters there. Take a look. 28-24 first quarter. Next quarter, 30 to 20, 28. 26, I believe. Sorry. And then after that, we dominated the third quarter. We came out and we locked them in 28-16 in that third quarter. They're 23-23 in the fourth, but by that time the game was over. And that's what you got to do to a team like this. You got to, if their best guys aren't playing, so what? It does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. It does not matter. And then our big dogs came to play. Randall finally woke up. What I love is Randall's getting to the free throw line. Like 7 for 10 from the line tonight. 7 for 10. But what I love more importantly is that he was down in that Baja. He was down there punishing dudes. And that's what you got to do, man. When you're him, you're 6'9", 6'10", you're a power forward, you can shoot the three. I don't like the fact that he's on the perimeter. He's on the perimeter a lot. Like I'm noticing that in the beginning of games. He's on the perimeter way too much. We see that Donovan Mitchell's not a franchise player, but no, I don't think he is either. NBIC. I think that he's a nice piece to have, right, next to somebody, right. So that's why I would love Spider here because you have Jalen Brunson here. I wouldn't want Spider to come here, and there's really nobody here because I know that he's gonna want to take all the shots, man. He can go nut, you know what I mean? Like that's how we used to say back in the day. We used to play ball. He's like, yo, this dude's going nut, right? He could be that guy. He just goes. I'm like, yo, dogs, you got to pass the ball, right? So he's gonna need somebody else there that's gonna reel him in, right? But no, I never felt that he was someone you build around. No. He's not that type of player because another thing too is that he's just not that type of player. He just isn't. But yeah, back to Randall, right? I just that was what I saw in the beginning of the game, right? Just sometimes he makes the game harder than what it is. It's a very easy game. It's not hard. You understand who you are, right? But when you see a matchup, like the guy Wise was on him, when you see that, you know he can't check you in that Baja, man. Take him down in that post and get busy, man. Put your back on him. Get to work. Because then here's the thing. When you're in the post, Randall's a willing passer, so he can see the floor. He's 6'10". He can see over everybody. So he can swing it. He can hit somebody cutting. There's a lot of things he could do from that post. But that's where you have to identify your matchups and just take full advantage of it. And he wasn't doing that in the beginning, right? He wanted to stay on the outside, and I was like, Randall, man, go down low. And once he started doing that, he started punishing dudes. He started scoring a couple of times, hit some free throws, and then he stepped back. Then he started hitting. He hit a couple of threes. Then I said, okay, now the game's coming back. But the game is easy. But these last couple of games, he just wants to be on the perimeter a lot, and that's. I don't. You're not mellow. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys want to be mellow, man. A lot of these guys want to be mellow. They want to be him because he can score on all levels, right? But you got to identify your strengths and weaknesses. But I think to me, I think Randall's the key. I think Randall's the key, man. You know what Brunson's going to be. The way RJ's playing, you know what he's going to be. You know what IQ's going to be, right? Those are the guys that score the ball, right? So we're still trying to figure out DiVincenzo. We already know what Josh Hart's going to be. Hart, right? Those are the four that come off the bench. But Randall's the key, man. He's the key because there's no one really well that matches up with him. I said it earlier. So to me, that's the key to this. You guys heard Mobley chirping, man? He was chirping like a couple of days ago, man. Did you hear that? Saying how we take this, this matchup seriously. We remember what it was like last year, the playoffs, Dogs, it's too early for that, man. It's too early. It's game 4. Like, relax. But what that tells me is that he was listening to people talking. Because we saw what Randall did to him last year in the playoffs. Everyone saw it. Everyone saw it. Everyone saw how he made him look like a little kid at the schoolyard playing against one of the varsity kids. And he was getting babied in that Baja. And the same thing happened today. It's just a bad matchup for him. That's all. Great player, man. He's a good player. I really do like Mobley, but it's just a bad matchup for him. NBIC. Randall needs to be utilized a lot better. If he's used as a Rodman type in the paint that can score whenever he's a threat all the time and opens up the floor and makes it easier for his teammates. But as a Rodman type? Rodman. Talking about Dennis Rodman? No, I don't think that's who you mean. Rodman didn't score from the paint, man. He was a rebounder. I don't even think he was scoring like that. I think you wanted to say somebody else's name. Utilized a lot better. All right, let me do you think that Tibbs is telling him to do that? Do you think Tibbs is telling him to stay on the outside? Randall should know his game by now. He should know how to identify matchups, right? When you get on the court, you do the jump ball, you see who's checking you. You say, yo, who's got me? That's what you're saying to yourself. Anybody that's played ball, we've all done it. You get out there right before they do the jump ball, you check and see who's on, you go, okay. If it's somebody weak in your mind, you know what you're saying? You're saying barbecue chicken all night. Barbecue chicken. Right? So, I don't know if Tibbs is telling him, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, I understand, like, you know, when he's in the paint, but Randall's got to identify that. NBIC, like, he's got to be able to say to himself, okay, this is who's guarding me. I'm about to go in here and dominate, because that's going to make the game so much easier, man. I know that they have discussed and talked about, there's been discussions stated how, like, Tibbs and those guys wanted Randall to shoot more threes. So, to your point, NBIC, that's probably what he's thinking, but you could still shoot threes, man. Just get your rhythm first. We just want you chucking them. You know what I mean? Just to chuck them. I think Tibbs is saying, okay, I got you. That has been the rumor. Like, the rumor is that Tibbs is telling him to take more threes. It goes back to the thing that I told you before the other night, like, about the whole analytics thing, right? With a lot of these guys. Like, a lot of these guys are listening to the analytic guys, and the analytic guys are telling guys to do this with your game, do that. Kind of like what Emmanuel Mudiay said, right? Remember when I stated that? It's kind of like the same thing. And so, yes, I agree. He wants to take more threes. But I think he's got to be a smart enough player, regardless of what Tibbs says. This is your team, dogs. Like, you're the guy, right? So you got to be able to. He said he doesn't have a high basketball IQ at all. Who are you talking about, Tibbs or Randall? Tibbs, I think he does, man. I think Tibbs knows what he's talking about. He's not perfect. But he does know the game. Are you speaking about Randall? Because if you're talking about Randall, I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Might have to agree with you on that. You know, just Randall. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's just 1 second. Okay. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, certain things that I see him do, like, I'm just like, yo, man, like, dude, what are you doing? Like, come on, man. This game is too easy. You know, so I mean, maybe Tibbs is telling them. As I'm saying, I'm quiet because I'm sitting here breaking it down in my head. Like, maybe Tibbs is telling them, right? Because maybe he identifies that certain things Randall just doesn't get, right? Maybe he sees, like, okay, this guy, he's not all there, as what I probably thought, right? So maybe he's helping Randall. I mean, I don't know. But it was very evident when I saw the matchups. I said, Randall, take him down low. Then I see Randall just standing on the outside, making this. He was making it easy to guard him. Like, the guy didn't even really have to work. You just, so. But once Randall started taking him in the Baja and he started drawing those fouls, look how many times he went to the free throw line. That could have been like 15 times. He could have added on 5 more times to the line, man, if he would have started off right from jump. So I don't know. I don't know, but I do agree. I think Randall struggles in that area as far as basketball wise, right? It just doesn't add up, I guess, is the word. But yeah, okay, let's go here and let's take a look and see who we got coming up. All right, cool. So as you see there, we won tonight, so we're 2-2 right now, currently 2-2. I think it's a perfect record. And I think if those other players aren't playing tomorrow night, which I doubt, we should get another win, which should possibly make us 3-2. And then I think we can actually split between the Bucks and the Clippers. I do. Now, the Clippers just picked up James Harden, which is tough because the Clippers were tough prior to that, right? So, and if I'm correct, also too, what makes the Clippers even tougher, man, they picked up PJ Tucker too. He's ferocious defensively. I mean, he has an appetite for it, man. He just loves playing defense, getting underneath your skin. So he's gonna cause Randall some problems. He is, because Randall, to your point, he's not emotionally the sharpest guy, and his IQ sometimes goes out the window at times. Atlantic Line, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? Big win tonight, sir. NBIC, okay, you have to understand that Randall has to be comfortable playing his game. He's a rebounder, a decent passer, and can score. But due to his lack of IQ, he struggles in big moments. Agreed. Well said. I can't even add on to that. That was pretty good. No show in the playoffs because of their conditioning. That's why I say focus on his strengths. Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely focus on his strengths. But to your point once again, it comes back down to coaching, right? Your boy. We run Cleveland, of course, man. That's their easy work. Atlantic Line, I mentioned earlier, I just said I just don't think they're a good matchup for the Knicks. Meaning us. Like, we're just a bad matchup for them. They just are. Because even if you add in, Garland is the name, so even if you add in Garland and Jared Allen, like, it doesn't make a difference because Mobley cannot guard Randall. And Mitch was just, you saw what he was doing to Allen last year. He was babying him. And Garland, he doesn't, he gets busy, but not to that point. Because here's the thing what Garland does. Good player, too. Really good player. But he takes the ball out of Spider's hands. So with Garland's there, Spider's getting less shots. So now you have to worry about both of them, but you don't have to worry about Spider going off on you. Because, Spider's a high-volume guy. And, he needs his shots. Because, Garland, because, the way Spider is, Spider can go from 20 to 40 on you, depending on if you're letting him get heated up. But with Garland there, Garland kind of keeps Spider cooled down because he doesn't get enough touches because Garland's got to get his too. So all in all, I just think it's just a bad style matchup. And as you see, they have nobody for Brunson, man. They try to put a Okoro on there. He was cooking him, man. made him look like chopped cheese, man. That's easy work. So, and then with RJ coming around, what are they going to put? They're going to put Garland on RJ. You got to put Spider on maybe somebody like Grimes because you don't want Spider to get in foul trouble. So, I just think that they just don't match up well with the Knicks. They really, really don't. Like I stated earlier, who gives us problems is teams with length and athleticism. Hence, like we've seen when we was in New Orleans, and of course, Toronto gives us problems all the time just because of their length and athleticism. We really struggle with that. We really truly do. So we definitely have to see. But yeah, these are next 3 games, guys. I think we're 2-2 now. I think we can pull out a 4-3. What do you think? 4-3? I think 4-3 we can do it. 4-3. I'm not gonna say 5-2. That's pushing. I don't think we win these next 3 games. I think we win. We could win 2 out of 3. I think, believe it or not, the Bucks. The Bucks might be a little better matchup wise for us than the Clippers, man. The Clippers got a lot of weapons, man. 4-3 sounds good. The Clippers got a lot of weapons, man. The Bucks got Dame Dollar. They got Greek Freak. They got Middleton. They got Crowder, right? Portis. They got a really solid lineup. They really good. But I'm just thinking about, just the Clippers, man. Harden is just a headache, man. We have nobody for him. And those Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are still Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. They gave the Knicks fits last year. Fits. Then you add P.J. Tucker onto that. He's going to give Randall problems, man. He's going to get in Randall's head. And so then you got either Kawhi or Paul George on RJ. I think that's going to be the toughest game for RJ. I think that's when RJ might come back down to earth playing against those guys. And then of course you got Russ. I forgot about Westbrook too. So they're a lot to handle. I think we can probably steal one from Milwaukee than we could the Clippers. Milwaukee's tough, but they don't have the firepower that the Clippers do. Harden can go for 40, man. Messing around with him, right? Paul George can go for 40. Kawhi Leonard can go for 40, right? So you got to think, those are 3 top dogs, right? So the Bucks got maybe, 2 guys that get busy? Middleton now, but Middleton's the ball's out of his hands now because of Dame Dollar. He's Super Bowl dominant, right? So that takes shots away from Middleton. But you can't say that about Harden because Harden led the lead in assists last year, man. So he don't mind giving up, but he gonna make his shots. And then he gets you in foul trouble. It's a tough matchup. Never count out the Knicks, but I would be very happy if we split 1-on-1 between. Right, agreed, Atlantic line. That's kind of like what I'm thinking too. RJ will show out against the Clippers, but I still think we lose. I don't know, man. I don't know if he. Just matchup wise, NBIC. Just matchup wise, I don't know if he does. That's a tough ask. Paul George is tough, defensively tough, and Kawhi Leonard is. They got some tough guys, man, defensively. P.J. Tucker, even Russell Westbrook gets in it. You know what I mean? So, RJ might have a tough night. He's gonna have a tough night probably with the Clippers. RJ's my guy, but I'm just being honest. But I like how we look tonight. Like I said earlier, I just like the fact that we were able to punish these guys, man. Get rid of them, get them out of here, so we can move on and we could get this W. But I think all in all, I think we played really, really good tonight. And I think we should probably be able to do the same thing tomorrow night. I don't think, especially with Garland and Jared Allen out, I just don't see them posing any type of threat, especially in the Garden, right? So, so we got to see exactly how that goes. All right, but that's my show. Appreciate you guys coming by. Again, chopping it up with your boy LV. I will be back tomorrow after the game to chop it up some more, man. Talk these Knicks, man, because I think that they've got a good team, and I think we're going to go pretty far this year. I do. Capping right now, just to top it off, Eastern Conference Finals. Can we do it? Yes. Do I think we will? I'm kind of 50-50, but I think there's a chance. I think so. All right, but listen, I'm LV Live. Appreciate you coming by. Please hit that like, share, subscribe button, peoples. Thank you for coming by, man. I truly, truly do. Just listen to me talk Knicks, man. Truly, truly love that, man. So thank you again. I will be back tomorrow so we can talk more and wrap up the game. Hopefully the Knicks can get another victory, man, and go 3-2. All right, I'm LV Live, and that's my show, and I'm out, people. Peace.